Welcome to our online series. Here we have our senior physio Hayden demonstrating how to use the roller to release tension through the front of the quadriceps muscles. So the quad muscles are just in front of the thighs. So with the roller, we're rolling up from the top of the knee joint and stopping just before the hip bones. You don't need to roll over the bones because this can tend to be quite uncomfortable and not really necessary to stretch out the muscles. Just focus on the bulky part of the muscle. Rolling up and down about 15 to 20 times. This is just a rough guideline. You can do more or less depending on what you can tolerate and how tight the muscle is and how painful it is to actually roll. Hayden's going to change position now. Top leg bent just to take off a bit of weight, or you can have both your legs together to get a really good stretch. So we're rolling the ITB or the iliotibial band, which runs from the top of the hip bone and runs down and crosses the outside of the knee joint. So you're rolling from the top of that hip bone and just stopping just before the knee joint. If that gets too painful, then you can bend that top leg and put your foot down just to increase points of contact, and it will just release a little bit of tension if it is too painful for you. Changing position again, so sitting on top of the roller now. Bend one leg and lean towards that side. So we're rolling the piriformis muscle and the gluteals here. So you want to lean over to that side where your leg is bent and just rolling from the back of the hip bone right around to your sits bone. You can stop and sink into any point where you feel any extra tension, because you will feel a few points throughout this muscle that are a bit tighter than the rest. Make sure you do both sides. So Hayden's now rolling the left, so lean towards that left hand side as you roll from the back of the hip bone right around to the sit bone. About 15 to 20 times, or whatever you can tolerate. Hayden's now rolling the hamstring muscles, so both legs together, rolling from the sit bones and stopping just behind the knee joint. If you're okay doing this, then cross your legs over and just focus on one side of your hamstrings at a time, rolling about 15 to 20 times. Moving the roller down now, putting them behind the bulky part of your calves, legs together first, and just rolling forwards and backwards. If this is too hard, you can bend one knee and put the foot behind the roller and just roll one calf at a time. You might have to change the position of the roller as it can get away from you. Just keep bringing it back so that it's really focusing on the bulky part behind the calf muscles and then down and just part of the tendon. Rolling the shins. This is good if you've had shin splints before or are prone to getting shin splints. So you can focus on the outside of that lower leg and then across the front of the shin bone if you can tolerate it. About 15 to 20 times. If that feels fine, then you can actually do both at the same time. This requires quite a lot of core muscle control, so you do actually get an exercise for your core muscles as well. But if it feels uncomfortable, then don't do this.